Howdy folks, Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilia here, taking a look at the tropical update for July 28th of 2020, brought to you by the good folks over there at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling. Going on in the tropics, waiting on Isaias, Izzy, to show up next. Finally got rid of Hannah Gonzalo. We've already made it this far. Josephine, Kyle, Laura, Marco, and Nana are going to be next up. In the tropics we go. We've got a cluster of thunderstorm activity heading right now into the Gulf of Mexico. That's loosely associated with what's left over of Hannah, I suppose. We've got some cluster of thunderstorm activity happening near Latin America. We've got a little bit happening into the Caribbean. But yeah, the thing that's sticking out like a sore thumb, yeah, you guessed it, is PTC number 9. Yeah, I know. Potential tropical cyclone number 9, wind at 40 miles an hour, gusting to 50, 1,007 millibars. And I know you're probably wondering, wait a second, Nick. Wind at 40 miles an hour? Buddy, that's a tropical storm. And, well, no. They haven't found an area of low-level circulation, centralized low-level circulation and low pressure. So it's not. I know, it gets complicated. We weather folk, we like to keep you guys on your toes, though. So PTC number 9 for now. It's eventually going to be Isaias or Izzy. Currently 435 miles off to the east-southeast of Leeward Islands. Moving at a pretty decent clip. I mean, this thing's kind of, I don't want to say it's hauling. It's not Hurricane Nate or anything, but it is doing 23 miles an hour. We also have another wave actually back in behind it as well that's worth noting as we head through the next few days, though the National Hurricane Center not paying much attention to that one yet. First one on deck, PTC 9 should get its way near Florida by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, and for how fast it's moving now, if we slide on in a little bit, sir, we can get a decent look how slowly it may be moving as we head through Saturday and Sunday. We got a ruler on here from one line to the next. It's only moving about, we can ballpark say 240 miles in 24 hours, slowing down to just 10 miles an hour. It's closer to Florida on Saturday and Sunday. From there, things get interesting. Looking at the climatological potential for movement here. Now, this is from Florida State Meteorology. I saw this floating around today, and I kind of made my own version of it. So, hat tip to those guys and girls out there at Florida State for putting this together. But what this is looking at climatology from the late 1800s all the way through today. Where do tropical systems tend to go when they're forming in the same area as Isaias or potential tropical cyclone number 9? Well, they tend to get into the Gulf of Mexico, and they tend to affect anywhere between about Corpus Christi, Texas, all the way back around to Tampa, Florida. So this is why it's worth noting for folks that are watching this in the Gulf Coast region from, again, Florida all the way over to Texas. Because climatologically speaking, this one may become an issue for you folks. Now, the spaghetti plots, the models themselves, line up pretty closely with what the National Hurricane Center is suggesting as we head through the next couple of days into the Bahamas by Friday afternoon. Then they start to spread out. When I say spread out, holy cow, do I mean spread out. By the time we get toward Monday morning, look at it. This is incredible. Remember yesterday I put out a ruler on here, and I said, yeah, okay, so about 900 miles or something like that. And all right, well, what about now? How about just an easy 1,100 to 1,200 miles from one side to the other? So there's a lot of variability within the model data that we have right now for what's going to happen to PTC number 9, or eventually Isaias. The thought is, right now, the stronger this becomes sooner, the more it's going to interact with that ridge of high pressure that's over here, and that's going to steer it to the north and back around to the northeast a little bit quicker. So if this thing is to gain strength pretty quickly, kind of in this ballpark near Puerto Rico, it would tend to hug the northern side of things and get turned off to the north a little bit quicker. If it stays a little bit weaker, it'll kind of glide right over parts of the islands here and have a better chance at getting into the Gulf of Mexico. And you can see evidence of that with the Tab S and the Tab M modeling here, showing shallow or moderate thunderstorm depth, or a weaker system, showing that that's going to slide a little further off to the south and have a better chance of getting into the Gulf of Mexico. I did have an opportunity before recording this to take a peek at what the sea surface temperatures are looking like, the isotherm depth, and the heat potential in here. And we've got a little poke in here of some warmer water trying to get into the Gulf, but then we've got a big area of cooler water actually sitting in the center of the Gulf of Mexico, and then some slightly warmer water as you get up a little bit closer to the northern Gulf Coast. You also have a bullseye of warmer water over toward the Bay of Campeche. So we've got a couple of different moving pieces happening as we head through the next couple of days with this thing as it tries to get a little bit closer to the mainland. So you can see the European here keeps it, I suppose, a little bit weaker. It's got it scraping Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, and it's got it kind of gliding over parts of Cuba as well before getting to the southern tip of Florida as we head through Saturday afternoon. Then it moves it into the Gulf of Mexico as we head through Sunday and into Monday, through Tuesday and into Wednesday, before this one model, again, this isn't the end-all be-all, but this one model moves it ashore as kind of a much smaller system across parts of the Florida Panhandle and maybe getting into parts of Alabama. Now, yesterday, recall that all this did was bring it into the Gulf of Mexico, and it actually didn't have it turning north very quickly at all. Had it rolling around in the Gulf for a couple of days. So that's another reason that this thing bears watching. We never like to see things rolling around in the Gulf of Mexico. So there's a look at your tropical update for July 28th of 2020. Brought to you by the good folks over there at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling.